Stop looking for the conditions, the external conditions to be perfect so that you can feel good, satisfied, happy. For example, when this car stops working or truck, I will feel divine and in peace, you know. When my neighbor stops shouting, or when my partner stops doing this, or when, I don't know, my boss stops doing that, when the government stops doing this, I will be like in peace, you know, happy and so on. That absolutely can work, but it will be very difficult because you constantly have to control the external circumstances. And that also comes from the ego, who wants to be in control of everything. And that only feeds that control mechanism within you. And that's not the pure you. That's why it will be extremely tough. Why you feel bothered by the external circumstances after all is because you are bothered something about within you. And that again is the ego, who is bothered about something within you. Something that it believes that you are not enough now, or you're not worthy enough, or you're not doing enough, you're not being enough, you're not, I don't know, conscious enough, you're not lovable enough, you're not beautiful enough, and so on. And it has created all these stories within you and made you feel irritated about yourself, made you feel separated from yourself. And that starts from the early childhood. The separation where we are made to believe we are not enough. And that's the point. Because we have chosen, you have chosen, and I have chosen to awaken to that within us that is everlasting and ever perfect. And when you touch that space within you, then you touch that space within everything external. When you find God within you, you find God in everything and in everyone. And all the upper layer stuff, all the waves and the hassle, and that's for the ego. That's just like a mind game, and you can observe it with deep laughter. But to get to that space underneath all those layers of irritation and anger and frustration and whatnot, you also gotta welcome these feelings. You gotta welcome all the layers with your consciousness. And that doesn't happen from the mind. That happens within your body. That happens with your breath. That happens with your voice. That happens with your whatever wants to be expressed when you are in the process of welcoming that emotion, that irritation. Just breathe with that irritation and express it first. Express the voice, the anger. Cry. Express I see a squirrel, that's so beautiful. Express the deep levels of rage, but not toward anybody, with yourself. Maybe you want to shake your body, maybe you want to dance. Just ask, breathe into your body and ask what wants to be expressed. So you will get layers deeper and deeper and deeper, until you get to the basis of all emotions is fear. And that's for the ego, the fear of death, right? Because these parts of you, they will disappear when you shed awareness to your bothers. And then you welcome fear. You breathe into that. The ego is afraid of the ego is afraid that the fear will take over and that will be forever. And when you surrender even just for a second to it and you allow the fear to take over for a moment, the fear actually dissipates. And that's the beauty of this process. That's the paradox of life. And then you touch what's underneath it. That's the peace, that's the stillness, that's the space. And from that, it will be with you forever. And then you feel emotions from that space. Then you feel all the noise from that space. You can allow yourself to do the things, feel it, because emotions will forever be with us when we are in this human body. So feel it all. But now you already have touched that space of stillness. And you know who you are in that space. And then feeling all these emotions, it's like nothing. It's like a game. It's like you're not afraid to go into that process anymore. And then you also touch that space in other human beings and in the things. And you know that all the humans, they just act from their ego. But you only have trigger when you act from your ego as well. Then you feel irritated from them. But when you see them from that space of stillness within you, you just see that, you see that from neutrality, that they're just unconscious. And you actually have love toward them. Because, they don't know any better, and you have love toward them because you see that God within them. And the only thing there's left is love. When you touch that space within you, you wanna have the depth of experiences. You wanna see the depth of the deepest depths of every human being, and you wanna you already do that actually. You automatically start to experience deeper layers of this existence. So you can't help it. You will see only from that space, and you will only see that in others. And then, you want to reach, even if you forget, even if you forget that space and just go with your ego again. But again, you ultimately will be brought back to that space within you through life circumstances. There will be that desire in you to touch that space no matter what. There will be that divine desire within you to touch that space in others. So, I would invite you to go there. Take all the discomforts, take all the challenges, take all the irritating noises and relationships. Because only through these circumstances, only through these contrasts, you will awaken. You won't awaken when everything is perfect and comfortable. When you are in that perfect environment, you will only awaken through contrast, because that what wants to be purified or awakened, that will come to the surface. You need that what wants to be purified to come to the surface. You want the ego to come to the surface, to go through it, to shed awareness. You want, all the suppressed emotions to come to the surface, to shed awareness. Otherwise, you cannot do that if they won't come. So take all these situations that make you feel, make you go crazy, take them as gifts, because they truly are. Good luck.